Hey guys, what's up? So I've been asked a lot of times in the last couple of years if I've ever competed. Yes, I have. But when I uploaded my post on the event itself a year and a half ago, a lot of people were kind of confused because they asked me where I placed, and they thought I was doing a physique competition. And I laughed and I was like, I would never do a physique competition. And that, most people have the same reaction. Why? That's crazy. And here's that. But the thing is, even though it might look like I care about my appearance, it's not that I don't. There's at least 10% of my 100% of training that cares about appearance, but that's just 10%, guys. Like, I have maybe one isolation workout a week, not much. So I'm mostly focused on the big three, and that's because I honestly just want to be strong. The reason that I look the way I do is because my macros are very calculated by myself. I do all my own meal prep. I do all my own calculations, all that good stuff. I get tips here and there from my strength coach, but as far as physique goes, yeah, it's not really something I'm interested in. There's just too much behind it. Like, for example, one of the biggest problems with it is cost. We're not just talking about, the diet itself. We're talking about coaching, paying to get into the event itself, travel to get to the event itself, maybe even lodging. I guarantee that they're not paying for it, especially if it's just an amateur show. And sometimes even national, like International Federation of Bodybuilding, IFBB level shows, even they're not going to pay for your lodging. You would probably have to be a sponsored athlete, and that takes a lot of time and effort. You have to be big on social media. It's a big deal. So that's the first thing, is the cost. Like, it's horrendous. Where food alone runs me so much money, and that's just to be strong. So meeting macros for physique or bodybuilding, it's a little bit different from powerlifting, but ultimately it all comes down to the same thing. It costs a lot of money. So that's the first reason. And the second reason, and these are not ranked in order of importance to least importance because they're all kind of number one for me in that aspect. But number two, again, we go back to power. Power is a big deal for me. It's basically, besides, reversing my low testosterone diagnosis at the young age of 23, that's the biggest reason I got started training, was because I've been small my whole life. I'm like a lot of you. I was in my shy shell forever, and it took me forever to break out of it. It's something that, takes time, and you have to find an outlet that will help you to discover yourself. So this is something that has kind of done that for me. So being small all throughout school, like, I could add all the other things in there, but that's another video. I could add all the other small elements in there that, screwed with me, but the reality is I got sick and tired of, being called small, being told I can't be strong, being told I can't be this, I can't be that. I let it, get into my head because I really didn't know any better. I didn't have any guidance. I had no direction. So I just really wanted to be strong. Not the point that I'm at now. That came from obsessive behavior. The point I'm at now, the reason I have obsessive behavior about it is because I realized that was the best way to truly grow and get better at the sport. So I honestly never planned on competing. The only reason I competed was because I wanted to feel like I was doing more than just going to the gym every day. So that's the big thing there. Appearance, again, it just kind of comes with the trade. My macros are all on point. I never really cheat that much. I don't really feel a need to, because I love what I do. So as far as appearance goes, it's almost never in the back of my mind. I don't really care. Power is where it's at for me, and that's what I like to do. And as far as other reasons go, I'm not going to name names. I don't have names. I wish to throw no one under the bus. In fact, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus who wants to compete in natural bodybuilding or physique. If you want to, do it, and I hope you're successful. But as far as my own point of view goes, there's too many politics. The sport is just way too subjective for me. Like, you might have a better physique than the guy next to you, but he might know someone on the judging panel. Hell, you might even have a better physique than someone else, but they look a certain way that the judge is looking for. Maybe their upper chest is more developed. Maybe they have six-pack abs and you only have a four-pack, which is not something that you can help. But maybe that's what they want to represent the sport, as to who people look to for inspiration to sell product. And that's what it all comes down to, is selling product. So, and that's another thing. It's kind of linked with this third reason I just entailed, but the third reason doesn't take much time to explain. And here's the fourth reason. I mean, this is not a knock on anybody. The sport is hard regardless. People put in work for years. But the sport itself, men's physique, that part of the category, I've known guys that started working out who were skinny, and in 6 months they got into shape for a show, and then they competed. At IFBB Pro League competitions, I mean, it's qualifications for your pro card, International Federation of Bodybuilding. They hand out physique pro cards like candy, and there's a reason for that. The sport, that category of the sport was only introduced to make the IFBB more money, because it's a lot easier to get into a pair of board shorts after you've worked out for maybe 1 or 2 years and then place well. And, shooting for sponsors is a whole other game, but consistency is the key there, and they know they can promote that category of the sport more than bodybuilding, because it's going to be a lot easier to get into board shorts than it is to put in 20 years of work to look like, a men's open bodybuilder. And they'll weigh more than 212 pounds. So that's another thing that bothers me, is that it's just a quick way for them to make money, because every competitor, paying as much as they do, I could guess at least $500+, just to get into the show. And you may not even place. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying that, to me, that's just not, something that I'm shooting for. And then here's the other thing, the fifth reason. It's, how do I explain it? Powerlifters and strongman, they're getting leaner these days. It's not something that's really special or significant anymore. You've got, a natural bodybuilder. These natural bodybuilders, they look smaller than IFBB professional men's physique competitors. Do you know how crazy that is? They look smaller than these guys. Natural bodybuilders. And look at Jeremy Buendia, 4-time Mr. Olympia in the men's physique category. He looks bigger than a natural bodybuilder. How crazy is that? I mean, you know that he's not natural. Most of them aren't, because when it comes into, holding on to muscle size while you're getting ripped like that, you're going to sacrifice something physically and occasionally mentally, sometimes both. But as a natural athlete who, I wouldn't say I lost a lot of muscle size. It was mostly water that I cut in my first competition, which I can do another video on. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But when I lost all that water weight in just a couple days' time, I went insane. I cracked mentally, and I was just done. But it could be because I'm natural, but, there are specific steroids that help you to, stay somewhat mentally sane. So those are my reasons as to why I will not do a physique show anytime soon, probably ever. Maybe if I become unnatural, but that's just because I would want to go as hard at it as I can. And I'm not saying that natural guys can't. I'm just saying that natural bodybuilding has its limits faster than natural powerlifting. Way faster. You can achieve more in strength than you can in aesthetics, naturally. A little bit faster anyway. So that is my humble opinion about it. Again, no one under the bus. If you compete in bodybuilding, happy for you. I hope you win. Same with powerlifting. And I love both sports equally. So with that said, keep coming back for more content, and I can't wait to keep you guys watching. So have a good one.